Hello, my love, and welcome to another episode of FEMPIRE Builders with Michelle Hext. If you are feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and just over it, and feeling as though you're not really getting anywhere in spite of all of your efforts, today I want to simplify things for you. I want to remind you that there are only ever three things that you need to be focused on in your business. And when you're focusing on one thing, you don't really need to be focused on the other things. All right. So let's just reduce the amount of effort that we're going to. Let's just simplify things and be a little more strategic so that we're not burning a lot of energy and time doing things that don't actually move the needle. All right. So the first thing is you need to create an offer that you're going to sell. If you already have an offer and you're happy with that offer, you feel like it's in your sweet spot, it's solving a problem in the market, and you fully stand behind it, pricing included, then that offer is created. You don't need to go around creating 100 more offers trying to find a better offer to create because you feel like the problem is the offer itself, because usually it's not, unless it's really unclear what it is that somebody will gain from working with you. If you can't spell out that transformation for somebody, then you might need to do a little bit of work on the offer. But the first thing is you need to create an offer. If you have an offer, you're good to go. The next thing that you need to do is sell the offer. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And then the third thing that you need to do is service the offer. So if you have, I'm assuming you're in the high ticket space. So if somebody enrolls in a high ticket coaching package with you or your mastermind or something like that, then obviously there is going to be some time spent in delivering the offer, making sure that you are giving people what you promised you would give. And the amount of effort that you go to there is going to be dependent on what it is that you promise. But the best offers, in my opinion, are very, very simple. They have a lot of support in terms of questions that people can ask on your live calls and whatever support you've got in the meantime. That is always going to be the main thing. Yes, you can have your modules. My mastermind has modules that my clients work through, but the value is always going to be in our live group coaching calls and the support in between. So servicing your offer is going to be a little bit of your time, right? Depending on how many people you've got to work with and what you've promised on. But essentially, these are the three steps: create an offer, sell an offer, service an offer. You'll know where you are right now and what you need to focus on. If you don't have an offer, then the first job you have is to create an offer that is all about creating an epic transformation for somebody so they're excited to say yes for you. Now, if you don't know how to do that, if you don't have your offer, now is the time to join FEMPIRE Builders, because the 5K formula is live and open inside FEMPIRE Builders right now. So you can go ahead and take yourself through those 4 modules that will help you get absolute certainty around your offer, knowing that it is ticking all the boxes. All right, so if you don't have an offer, create one. If you don't know how to do that, get support. I've just given you one example of how you can do that. Service the offer. We're not going to talk about that a lot because you'll know what that looks like, right? Let's talk about sell the offer. Now, selling the offer comes down to essentially 3 things: your messaging around the offer, traffic, and your conversion event. So this is what you need to be focused on. If you've got your offer but you don't have enough clients, selling this offer is going to be your work. This is the only thing you need to do. And so you've got to be really clear about your messaging. What are you saying? How are you resonating with your audience online? What is your content strategy for getting people interested in and wanting to know more about your offer? So messaging is number 1. If you don't have clarity around your messaging, then it's going to be really important that you go get that clarity, that you go and spend some time thinking about, what is the message that I need to be conveying to my audience to get them really excited about this product. Really important that you do that. And if you're really struggling with your messaging, go back and have a look at your sales page for the offer that you created, there are probably 100 topics or subtopics or angles that you can come up with based around the content that you've got on your sales page. So, always a really good hack there. So, you've got messaging. Your messaging should be something that you're doing daily, right? Or at least every couple of days. I love creating content. I've been creating content for so many years now. And right now, within FEMPIRE Builders, other than having the 5K formula in there, in February, we are going to be focused on leads. So I have a program called Lead Magnet Mastery that's in FEMPIRE Builders. So I just go back to my Facebook page, I do a search, and I type in Lead Magnet Mastery. And I've got probably 100 pieces of content that I can repurpose from there, because I'm looking to make things easier, being more efficient. And I know I've pretty much said everything that I need to say about Lead Magnet Mastery because that program's been around forever. Now, you may or may not have that option. And if you do, then I highly recommend that you do that. The next thing you need is traffic. So if you have a very small audience, then it's going to be smart to invest in some paid traffic to increase your awareness and get more eyes on your business. Our paid traffic can come in many, many, many ways. Paid traffic can come in the form of paying your VA to go and do some reach outs in LinkedIn. It can be meta ads. It can be promoting your podcast. It could be having somebody promote your YouTube channel. It could be that you write a book or you have a book and you invest some money in promoting the book. Traffic is going to be one of these things that we need to invest in if we want to grow faster. Organic is there, but it's slow. So you get to choose, right? If you don't have the budget for paid traffic, then you will need to rely on organic, which is totally fine. It's just that you have to work harder when it's organic than you do when it is paid, because you just do. It's just the nature of it. When you've got traffic, growing your reach and filling your conversion event like a masterclass or whatever it is, it's more automated. It's a lot easier because you're not having to do the heavy lifting. The ads are doing that for you. But if you don't have the capacity to do that, you're going to have to get creative and think about how you can get more eyes on your message, more eyes on your business, and more people into your conversion event. Now, your conversion event can be just a sales call. It can be that simple, a discovery call of some description. It could be a live webinar. It could be a pre-recorded masterclass. It could be a Facebook challenge. It could be any of those things. So if you don't have a system for selling, then you've got to develop one. You've got to figure out, okay, I've got this offer, and now my job is to sell this offer. What is the messaging that I need to create around the offer? And go out there and create some inspiring content that feels good. Then you need more eyes. So how do you do that? You can either do it by, as I say, organic methods, going in different Facebook groups, helping people out, trying to do some collaborations, things like that. Or you can just invest. You can spend a few dollars a day on some Facebook ads or something like that. And that is going to contribute to getting more eyes on your business, which is what everybody needs if they want to grow. And then you need to make sure you've got a conversion event in place. So whatever that looks like, don't go out of your way and create something too crazy and too complex for no reason. So if you love doing sales calls, discovery calls, then package up a beautiful discovery call and get people on those calls. Sell people into your offers on those calls. That is the path of least resistance. That is the simplest way to move people into your offers. What do I want to say about that? Yeah, when did discovery calls become like a bad thing? There's this thing online, I get to sell without doing discovery calls. And I've definitely shared that message because it's true. I do most of my sales through DMs. And I'm usually the one that will suggest that we jump on a call just because I want to have a conversation with that person before I move them into my program. Not always, but sometimes I will definitely do that. Um, I love doing those calls. I love them. And there's nothing wrong with them. It seemed to be this message online that, I don't know, it's just seemed to be below people to get on a call with somebody. But the reality is, there's so much going on in the online space. There are so many smoke and mirrors, and there are so many people that, I don't know, I guess you can even get on a call and somebody can be really slick in the sales process and be, you know, pretty crap at what they do. I guess that's a possibility, but you've got less chance of that happening if you spend time on a call with somebody to get a really good sense of who they are, and you get to ask all of the right questions and everything else. So I don't think it's a bad thing to do discovery calls. I think it's a bad thing to not pre-screen your discovery calls so that you're just getting a bunch of people that show up that aren't a good fit, that don't have the money to invest in you, are tire kickers. We don't, that's a bad idea. And that's, I think, why most people really don't enjoy doing discovery calls, because they feel like every call ends up in a no because they end up with people who can't afford them. That doesn't happen for me, and it doesn't happen for my clients because we pre-screen everybody. We have like a pre-screening questionnaire. So before someone can book a call with me, they have to answer a bunch of questions. And two really important questions are, if we are if we are a good fit to start working together, are you ready to begin working with me right away? And the other question is, this is basically how much it costs to work with me. Are you in a financial position to uh, to work with me? And I think I even ask a third question, will you need a payment plan or something like that? And so those questions are really important to me, because if somebody says to me, oh, I don't have any money, I'm just, testing a few different coaches and I'm, looking at working with somebody next year, I'll cancel the call and I'll let them know, I thank you so much for reaching out, but at this time, I only really do calls with people who can afford me and are ready to pull the trigger straight away if we're a good fit. So I've cancelled the call, but feel free to reschedule the call when you're in a position to get started. And I don't have any qualms about that. I'm not going to get on a call with somebody who can't afford me. All right. So put some pre screening in place and then do those calls. Enjoy the calls. Over on my YouTube channel, I have a bunch of resources there for you around discovery calls. So if you go to youtube.com/mmhext, you'll see, and I think, yeah, if you just search discovery calls, you'll see I've got a few videos there and I talk you through my process for that. So that's a free resource you can go and grab. And I want to end with this because I went on a little side tangent about discovery calls, but just to summarize, there are only ever three things that you need to be focused on: creating your offers, and when that's done, it's done. You'll know that. Sell your offer. And that's going to require messaging, it's going to require traffic generation, and it's going to require some sort of conversion process to move people into your offers. I'm a fan of discovery calls. Especially if you're not a tech genius and you don't want to spend a lot of time and energy building out a funnel, just offer a damn call, get on the call, pre-screen your calls and make your sales that way. And then, of course, servicing your offer. So making sure you're delivering on promise. I want to finish with two questions. Two questions. The first question that I want you to ask yourself is, how can you make this fun? We forget to have fun. I don't know about you, but I love to have fun, but I'm also a pretty serious human being. I am a serious person and I forget to have fun sometimes. And sometimes it's like, oh, that's right. I forgot that this can actually be fun. And so I just find ways to inject some fun in it. And for me, fun is more about making sure that I'm excited about it. I feel inspired and lit up about what I'm doing. That's the fun part for me. It's not like wearing a stupid hat and doing a happy dance around my office or anything like that. It's more just about, I've got to be lit up by what I'm doing. And the final question I want to leave you with is, how do you want to be in this thing? So I started the podcast by asking, are you overwhelmed? Are you exhausted? Are you spinning your wheels? Are you feeling, yeah, like it's all just happening to you instead of you being in control and at the wheel? And we can feel a little bit frantic. We can feel like we're failing. We can feel a bit scattered. We can feel a lot of different emotions when things aren't, when we don't have a strategy that we trust and we believe in and we're executing with confidence. And I want you to ask yourself, how do you want to be in this? Do you want to be confident? Do you want to be grounded? Do you want to be calm? Do you want to be passionate? I want you to really think about who you want to be in this right now. Because if you are being a scattered, exhausted, overwhelmed, like lunatic running around doing a million things, how is that working for you? And how enjoyable is that? I bet not at all, right? So, who do you want to be? How do you want to be in this? And then start to practice that. I'm a big fan of being organized and considered and structured so that I can execute a strategy with confidence. And I keep things simple so that I can play around with each of the elements and have fun with them and make them, sing to the best of my ability because I'm spending more time on the simple things instead of 100 things. And an example of that is I'm never going to create a funnel with 30 upsells because that takes me out. It just doesn't feel like fun to me. It just doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. So for me, I would rather have a super simple funnel with one or two steps that feel amazing and are going to do more than having 30 upsells. I'm about potency, I'm about simplicity and effectiveness. And that's how I want you to think as well. So, how do you want to be in this? And if you are not that way right now, you get to make a decision about changing that. And just before I finish, why do we want to reduce overwhelm and this franticness? The thing is, we want to feel good in our business. We don't want to feel overwhelmed and exhausted because when we're overwhelmed and exhausted and unclear, we don't make good decisions. We're in a reactive state and we make reactive decisions. I want you to make really good decisions, legacy brand building decisions, not hustle for the next sale and damage my brand in the process type decisions. I've done both. Like, I'm a normal human being. And for me, it's always, always, always going to be better. It's going to put me in the energy of, knowing I am worth every cent that I charge, knowing that my clients value me because I value myself. And I don't want to be doing a disservice to my brand by running around the internet trying to do 100 things, trying to get a sale. And for me, I'm building a legacy. I'm adding to my wealth every single month. I'm adding to my legacy every single month. And I'm really considered about what I put out into the world these days. And yeah, sometimes I'm going to say fuck. And sometimes when I put things out into the world, they might be, something short and punchy and funny or whatever. But it's all me being me and being okay with me being me. And if my brand, if somebody comes across a post, I had somebody email me a little while ago and they're like, I really loved everything you had to say, but, you know, your use of the word fuck just really, no, it was shit. I think it was shit. Really, that's not professional. And, she had a bit of a rant at me. And I just said to her, look, I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. All you need to do is unsubscribe. Like, I'm quite happy. And she's like, well, I thought you would want some advice about how to be more professional. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't aim to be professional. I aim to be real, and I aim to be myself. I aim to be what you see is what you get. And sometimes, it's really polished because I'm in that vibe, and other times it's not. But people like me because I am me. And if they don't, that's okay too. We're not for everybody. Our job is not to be for everybody. Our job is to be for ourselves and know that some people are going to align with that too. All right, that's it for today. I will see you next week. Be sure to check out FEMPIRE. I have put the first module for Lead Magnet Mastery on the About page. So you can watch that entire first module. And if you love what you see, then you can go ahead and get yourself signed up, and you can join us for the live round of FEMPIRE Builders that is happening in about a week's time. All right, that's it. Bye for now.